Yo, what's up, sports bettors? Day is just beginning, and I have a bunch of player props for you on Prize Picks. So let's go ahead. Let's dive into it. I also got some plays on Underdog Fantasy. So I say this all the time. If you only use Prize Picks, sign up for Underdog. If you only use Underdog, sign up for Prize Picks, right? Sometimes there's more profitable bets on Underdog. Sometimes there's more profitable bets on Prize Picks. But anyways, I'm talking a lot. So let's get into the picks. So my first pick is right here. I really like this play as well. Bam is heavily overrated, but he does crash the boards. So what I'm on is Bam over 9 rebounds, right? And what you're going to notice as a data-driven sports bettor, you're following the line movements, which you can see right here are highlighted in green and red. So the Suns game just kicking off. But Bam's line is 9 on Prize Picks, 9.5 on Underdog. Every sports book also has his line at 9.5, right? You can see we have numerous data points, literally dozens of data points, tons of sports books posting odds on this play. Every book has Bam's line at 9.5 rebounds. Prize Picks is at 9. We want to take the over, right? It's really that simple. As a sharp sports bettor, you're looking for inefficiencies. You're looking for value in the market. So you look at someone like Grayson Allen, Prize Picks, Underdog, they both have his line at 2.5. Both of the fantasy sites, Prize Picks and Underdog, they work in very similar ways. There's no discrepancy, right? All the sports books also have Grayson Allen's line at 2.5 rebounds. There's no value in the market. Whereas for Bam, it's a clear line discrepancy. Prize Picks is different than the other fantasy book. They're below Underdog, and they're also below all the sports books, right? So we want to take Bam's over. We found value. We found an edge. And that's all you can ask for as a sports bettor. I mean, so many, handicappers, they act like, oh, I know the future. It's such BS, right? Follow the data, find value in the market. You're not going to win every bet, but you will win long term. That's how I've made all my profits sports betting. And again, 9 versus 9.5, it may not seem like a big jump, but what you have to remember is FanDuel actually, they have odds. These are called alternate rebound lines. So essentially FanDuel, you can bet on Bam 8 plus rebounds or 10 plus rebounds. It goes from minus 260 to minus 110 just for 2 rebounds, right? These are big swings in the odds. So 9 versus 9.5. Sure, Bam over 9 rebounds. I'm not saying it's a lock. I'm not saying any of that BS. It's just a play with an edge. All the books have his line at 9.5. We're able to get over 9 on Prize Picks. We found value, right? So that's the first play that I went with. And then I flipped over to the Odds Jam positive EV tool. So the way this tool works is when I'm doing a Prize Picks video, typically I just filter, unsurprisingly to see Prize Picks if I'm making a Prize Picks video, but there's like 190 or something like that sports books on Odds Jam. So there's tons of value. It's not just like, again, there's value on Underdog. I recommend this all the time. There's 6 fantasy sites on Odds Jam. I think there's actually more, but there's 6, for example, on the fantasy screen. Sign up for Underdog. Sign up for No House Advantage. Sign up for Parlay Play. Sign up for every single one. Sometimes there's more value on Underdog. Sometimes there's more value on Prize Picks, right? So it kind of varies from time to time, so you should sign up for all these platforms. But the player prop I ended up going with is right here. I'm on Max Strus over 12.5 points. So you can see, kind of looking through the odds, every sportsbook has Strus's over as the heavily favored outcome. Right? Every sportsbook, Pinnacle, the sharpest sportsbook in the world, Bovada has his over at minus 150. All the sportsbooks are telling you through their odds, right? Every sportsbook is telling you the same thing. Hey, Max Strus is a lot more likely to go over as opposed to under. I mean, it's kind of like the same way if you look at the Bucks game for tonight. I believe the Bucks are pretty big favorites. What a surprise they are. The Bucks are 2-1 favorites, right? So the sportsbooks are telling you, the market is telling you, hey, the Bucks are a lot more likely to win this game. So it's no different here, right? All the sportsbooks are telling you is, hey, Strus is a lot more likely to go over as opposed to under. He's a lot more likely to go over 12.5 points. And I've explained this before, but the reason this is so powerful on Prize Picks is, for Prize Picks, doesn't matter if you take cricket, boxing, whatever, right? Prize Picks, they don't vary your payouts based on you selecting over or under. So the really simple strategy for beating Prize Picks is you just want to find spots where sports books have one side heavily favored, and you can still get that line on Prize Picks. So here, we can get Strus. His line is 12.5 on Prize Picks. All of the sports books, right? Literally every data point. all these different sports books. You have numerous data points all telling you the same thing. Strus is over is the heavily favored outcome. So that's a great player prop to include in your prize picks entry. And there's a few more, right? This play on Strus has a higher profit margin, but we want to go with 5 flexes on prize picks. So there's a bunch of other opportunities out there. Luis Cessa, over 2.5 strikeouts. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen a strikeout line that low. All the books have his over 2.5 strikeouts as the heavily favored outcome, right? DraftKings, Caesars, right? All these books, Bet Online, a super sharp book, they all have his over favored. Follow the data, take his over. You know, I say it all the time. 99% of sports bettors, they trust their gut, their heart. That's why they lose money. Follow the data, follow the market. You have numerous data points, tons of data points. All these books try to set lines independently. So you have tons of data points, all telling you where the line should be set in every sports book. They've invested hundreds of millions of dollars in their ability to set lines. Every sports book is telling you the same thing, right? Luis Cessa's over should be the favorite outcome. So take his over on prize picks. Prize picks doesn't even change your payout based on you selecting over or under. And all the books are telling you is, hey, he's a lot more likely to go over. So I included this play, and I have also explained this, but there's a new tool on OddsJam. It's been free for like a month. It's called the Fantasy Screen. It's in beta mode, testing mode, whatever you want to think about. But essentially what this tool does is similar to the EV tool. Everything is based in data, right? So for the Cardinals-Mariners game, as an example, all of the sports books, or, you know, whatever we want to look at, you know, any of these lines you want to look at, Devin Booker, his over 9.5 rebounds plus assists is heavily favored on all the sports books. So that's a profitable play to include in your prize picks entry. So basically the way you use this tool is you go to Screen, then Fantasy Screen. It's completely free to use. Check it out. It's free to use. And you just want to take the plays in green, right? So these plays in red, for example, Grayson Allen over half of a steal. I mean, it's not a horrible play. It's not like the over is not favored, but you don't want to include it in your prize picks entry, right? The sports books have his over. So the sports books have him to get a steal as the slightly favored outcome, around, you know, minus 130 odds. But it's not as much as some of these other plays, like, as an example, this Cardinals-Mariners play, or, you know, Devin Booker. The sports books have his over 9.5 rebounds plus assists, juiced to like minus 140. So sports books tell you how likely, right, how likely a bet is to hit based on the odds they're giving you. So, for example, if we go to the NBA, you know, you can see right here, the Suns are now minus 720. They're up 16-9 on the Clippers, right? So the sportsbooks are telling you, hey, the Suns are really likely to win this game. Kind of as another example, the Knicks are small favorites versus the Cavs. So the sportsbooks are saying, hey, the Lakers are a lot more likely to win today as opposed to the Knicks tomorrow. They're both the favored teams, but the sportsbooks are obviously telling you they have the Lakers at minus 210. The Lakers are a 2-1 favorite, 2-1, 66.67% to win. The Golden State Warriors against the Kings are minus 350, right? So they're even bigger favorites. The sportsbooks are telling you, yo, the Warriors are like, you know, minus 300 to win this game, a 3-1 favorite roughly. The Warriors are really likely to win this game. They're a lot bigger favorites than the Knicks. So it's no different when you're using the fantasy screen. The spots where the sportsbooks have an over heavily favored, right? So here, there's some discrepancies in the odds, but all the books have Kyle Gibson over 4.5 strikeouts as the heavily favored outcome. FanDuel has this at minus 196, almost as a 2-1 favorite. Caesars minus 161. So you want to find spots where sportsbooks have one side, either an over or an under, at like minus 140. That will make a profitable play in your prize picks entry. So here's my first play. Luis Cessa over 2.5 strikeouts. Castillo, so the Cardinals game, no runs first inning. So you look right here, Cardinals, Mariners, under first inning total runs. That's what you want to go with. Gibson over 4.5 strikeouts, right from the fantasy screen. I never follow my gut, always the data. Marcus Semien under 1.5 bases. Wade Miley under 4.5 strikeouts. Max Strus over 12.5 points. So that's the first play I went with. And then the second play I went with is the exact same thing. I just replaced Bam and Strus, right? So we went through that play on Bam. I also took this play on Strus, so I just included them in separate entries. So a couple different 6 flexes, a couple different options for you guys on prize picks. Hopefully this video was helpful. Let's make money.